EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Carolina Panthers. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Call that a 96-yard house call on the kick return, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Set, 180. Check, 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 check. Out, 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 out.
Boston Scott, his first carry. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're and that's caught inside the 30. And at the end of it, he's strapped. Ball comes loose. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
It's not often that we see big plays end in disaster, and we just absolutely saw it right there. They had something really big cooking on that one.
Can you, when you're down near the goal line like that on a big play, do you get maybe a little too careless, a little too desperate for the goal line?
I think the last part is exactly right. You get desperate for the goal line, and sometimes you get the ball out of away from your body, or you're trying to extend to get there, or maybe you're just trying so hard that the ball will come out of your hands. In any event, that's a big opportunity lost.
Two times.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. Well, that gives him a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5. The safety Landon Collins there to make the tackle.
It's second and 8 at the 5-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Running out of the gun with Dixon. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
35 to Mike. You must be getting tired of seeing me. Mike 35, Mike 35. Mike 34. Tight down, there you go. 35 to Mike. They're not ready for this.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And all this is taken him one-handed. What a catch. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
Fielded just inside the 30. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Protein spill. Regular. Cut.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. First carry for the former Florida Gator, Jordan Scarlett. And he'll take this one down to the 36.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Flush to his right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Now here's the Panthers special teams unit to try a field goal for 3. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And they're not going to get the snap off. This might back him out of field goal range. And that'll set him back 5. Here's the Panthers punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Football 101, you've got to let the guy catch the ball.
You have to know the ball is there. You have to know it's arrived. Otherwise, you're going to get flagged every time.
So 1st and 10 after a big mistake on 4th down with a penalty. Now a give right side. It's Taylor. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw, Watson. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns able to record his 5th sack of the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. To throw, Mayfield. It's caught by Bryant. And a big gain that time. He's out of bounds on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter now from Charlotte, and it's the Panthers with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All right, let's go ahead and just add it up here. Their last 3 drives, 2 fumbles, and an interception. Somewhere, to paraphrase one of the great coaches of the NFL, they're asking on that sideline, what the heck is going on out there?
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then, you take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little, and oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
Milage. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Watson under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? From the gun, here's Watson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a 1st down as he stopped at the 48.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. On 4th down, Watson. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. That pickup goes for 25. What a flip of the script from 4th down to 1st.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him, and he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
Watch the run. Watch the run. That's 24.
On 1st down, they go with Dixon. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. 4 down.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And his throw here's incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
The Dolphins on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10.
Win the rep. Let's go, right here. 24.
Out of the gun, Watson steps away to his left. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Tight dog. Hey, alert 33. What's up?
They'll run on first down. It's Chandler. He juked him. He finds an opening past the 40. And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. A big play there for the Panthers. 63 yards. A first red zone opportunity for the Panthers thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. Throwing, Mayfield. He's going to have the hook up to Scott. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
The gain of 7 brings up 2nd and 3 at the 3-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the... And he is in! Touchdown, Carolina! Boston Scott, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. 35's the mic. Better bring it. I'm letting you know right now.
To throw is Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Faking the give. Now Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
And now a big play to start off this drive as the shot downfield is complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. They go play action here on first down. Flushed out right. Looking right sideline. That's complete. A big play there just before halftime. 54 yards. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go band of brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 8. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Throwing again is Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Now Watson operating from the gun. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hurry!
Here's Scott. And a solid run down inside the 30. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
That's it, baby. That's it.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 46. And his kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. This will be fielded at the 6. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working.
Oh, wide open, complete. A big play there for Carolina. 79 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation.
Kill. Hey, turn it up. Check three. 25.
And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. From a yard out. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Back to you.
Here's Watson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Mike 35. Mike 35. Man. 36. Man, I got you. 35's the mic. You let him go.
From the gun, Watson dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit.
And the ball is knocked out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On 2nd and 9, Watson. He's letting this one go for... It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Will Fuller, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to draw a bit closer. This time, the extra point up and good. And that makes it 24-13. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that?
It's caught at the 10. A big play there for the Panthers. 66 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Bryant has it. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Let's get it together, defense. Big time drive. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? And again, it's Mayfield. He can run for it, and he will. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down. The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. And he's not even going to get past the line of scrimmage. Brought down right at the 4. The run on 4th and goal from the 4 is stopped short. And the Dolphins celebrate their goal line stand.
Check 15. Check 59.
The drive begins with a run by Dixon. And he loses the football a second time. And the Panthers have recovered. Let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game. And all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball was the key to winning games. They can't believe what they're seeing right now because they spend all this time on it with the fundamentals, taking care of it, tucking it away, and they're not doing it.
180. 58, right there. Run.
On second down, it's Scott. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
180. Choose the mic. Here we go. King. Check 1.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Mayfield looks to throw. That's to his running back, complete. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down.
And the Dolphins' 1st down.
Key tight end. Hey, 55. Check. Line up.
The give to Taylor. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They run it with Balaj. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down now, it's Taylor, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit, now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down.
Check. Watch the ship.
They turn to Taylor on 4th. He's got the first down and more. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they're going to hold serve. The defense stops him. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. A big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Mayfield to throw it. Going for the deep ball. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Xavier Howard. 2-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
On first down, it's Taylor. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. To throw is Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. The Dolphins on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Watson now. From the gun, he'll throw. Being chased out left. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
Zero rooting interest in it, but that one hurt.
Well, yeah, you're losing in the 4th quarter. A bad time for a fumble on a punt return. They
had an opportunity. All right, they were sensitive. They're down on the scoreboard, and now they just gave that one up.
Pull it together.
They'll run on first down. Scott. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
They go again with Scott. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, Scott. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10.
This is it. 19. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. Hey, 31. Hey, 59.
On first down, it's Watson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Snags it for the pick. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
A very short field to work with now. 1st and goal after the great punt return. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Deshaun Watson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys are back within a single score. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So just over 90 seconds to play, and this would figure to be about as critical as it gets here. Like the Panthers' hands team does its job. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3-and-out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
On 1st down, it's Scott. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Whip. Watch the whip. Big ass. Hurry. Watch out.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Scott. And some room to roll now. A game there of 30 big ones. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now a give, right side. Scott. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They come out here in the eye. They'll keep it on the ground. Scott. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Boston Scott with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Point after, right down the middle, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. This fielded at the 2. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
Mike,
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
35's the mic. Heavy on the edges, heavy on the move.
Now a first down throw, Watson. Throwing left side, it's complete. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Watson, operating from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now it's Watson. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he's going to get this deep on a Carolina side of the field.
Let's go.
A big play there for the Dolphins. 52 yards. Operating from the gun, Watson. And this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however. So now a big play here as the Dolphins will go for the 2.
Switches. 35's the mic. Oh, you got deep? Mike 35. Hey, you got time to look.
They'll look to throw. On the move to his left. He's going to take off with it. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Mayfield. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Kenny Clark in there to make the sack on what will be the final act in this ball game.
You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. ambition, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I